Hey guys, so this is a really quick intro to my episode 2 of I'm a Celeb, and let me know if you are still liking your current favorite to win or if you have chosen somebody else. Also, comment down below and let me know what your favorite part of episode 2 of I'm a Celeb was. And if you are enjoying the series, don't forget to click the subscribe button with the little bell so you get notified. So thumbs it up for me so I know that you're liking this web series. Let's just get on into it then. So jumping straight into episode 2, my thoughts. Honestly, I want to start with the Ant and Dec jokes. They were hilarious, they're on point, they're always relating to what's going on at home, what's going on in camp, campmates' lives, just the standard stuff, things that we all need. And going on to tense or unsure moments, I want to put my heart out to poor Caitlyn, who woke up at, I think it was around half one in the morning, and she was really unsure of her decision to join the jungle. She missed home, she missed her kids and her grandkids. When Ian and James realized she'd been having a rough time, they jumped straight in and told her it was fine, and they were there if she needed her, if she needed them, and that it was okay to be vulnerable, and it only increased my care and love for Caitlyn Jenner, I have to admit. As for the others, Jaclyn in particular seemed to be a little bit lost in moments throughout episode 2. She seemed a little bit unsure, and when the food arrived, she was a little frustrated when she suggested stir-frying everything together, and they ignored her, and then James came up with it as if it was his own idea. So I think she might get a little bit snappy when she suggests things and she gets ignored for somebody else to say it, and they all go, that's a great idea. But I think that's the parent in her, and well, let's be honest, we're women as well, so that doesn't help. Going on to the trials and challenges, so the trial and the Dingo Dollar Challenge. During the trial, Caitlyn was cool as ice. She did it really well, and I think she got 2, maybe 3 balls in, and she did great considering she was suspended up in this box with rats and cockroaches and God knows what else, and they were crawling up. And then when the end of the trial came, she happily called for medic help and said, there's a cockroach in me, I can't get it out. She was unfazed by it all, whereas Kate Galloway was, in my opinion, very overdramatic. She was screaming a lot, she was not concentrating on what she needed to do, and she got taken into main camp when they rang up. I personally think they should have told them how well they did in the trial, because I think it might have affected their decision, and particularly because Caitlyn is 70 and had worked really hard during that trial. I think it was a little bit sad that she didn't get to go to main camp and have a good rest and not have to face the trial that's coming up in tonight's, well, episode 3, which I will mention later, as that's all about the cliffhanger that we got. As for the Dingo Dollar Challenge, that was Jaclyn and Andrew, and it was hilarious. There were moments throughout that you could see Jaclyn's face about Andrew naming the plants, not the plants, naming the lamps. She was A, confused, and B, a little bit over it. I can't blame her, because he was screaming them from what I can gather, and I would have been a bit like, okay dude, I'm done with that. But he seems sweet, and he's funny, and he had a point. Naming them made it easier for him to remember, and if that's what worked for him, then that's what worked for him. And they did get the treat of the crisps, which is, I guess, what's important, considering the loser camp hadn't really eaten very well before dinner. So throughout the episode, we heard lots of different stories, from the sports stories of Caitlyn and James and Ian to Roman Kemp telling us about his Christmas with his parents and George Michael, which, let's be honest, we all want to spend Christmas with George Michael. Who wouldn't? Everyone seemed to be super supportive of one another, and when it came to trial to win the luxury items, sadly only 2 were won, but one of them, much to my great pleasure, was a Jay McDonald picture, which was Adele's luxury item, and I have to admit I did get a good chuckle at that. And the second one, sexually luxury item that was won, was Kate's concealer, which again I thought was funny. I'm sad that James didn't get his special orthopedic pillow for his neck, and that Caitlyn didn't get her luxury item, or well, anyone else. Jaclyn, which we believe was a picture of her kids, so it was a little bit sad, but hopefully they get to win them later on in the series. On to the next trial, the cliffhanger of today's episode. Honestly, I felt really bad for Caitlyn having to do another trial, and from the preview clips that we've seen, looks like Caitlyn gets snakes and she looks terrified. Hopefully she does really well and she won't get voted to do any more trials for a while, because I think she could use a break. But you got to see the whole group of the loser camp being super supportive of each other after finding out they were going together, and they were going to be able to encourage one another and just talk and do whatever needed. And Deck did arrive at the end of episode 2 of I'm a Celeb. I did think it was funny how Kate was like, hurry up, tell us news so we can eat our breakfast. She has no qualms about joking with everybody and anybody and telling it as it is, which I think we're gonna need. We're gonna need that strong side of her as well as seeing the vulnerable side. I think she is well up in that list of being winners this year.